Hello. Today we are going to talk about writing a system of equations. You will be given a word problem that you are going to create two equations to use to solve the word problem, find the solution. So let's get started. Here is our first example. It says, Do It Right Hair Salon is having a promotion. Perms are $10 each and color treatments are $20 each. After inventorying their supply, the owners found that they had sold 25 hair products and made $350. How many of each item did they sell? All right, so we're going to set up two equations here. We have two things kind of going on in this problem. The first thing that we have going on is how many items they sold. Okay, well, let's look at the problem. What does it say? It says, after inventorying their supply, the owners found that they had sold 25 hair products. Okay, that's important. What else do you think is going to be important in this problem? Probably the fact that perms are $10 each and color treatments are $20 each. That's going to be very important information for us. Okay? What's the one other piece of information that we'll probably want to include? How much money they made. Okay, so as you can see here, we have one thing that is talking about money, and then we have something else talking about how many hair products were sold. That is going to form our two equations. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to decide what two variables we want to use. I am going to choose P to stand for my perms, and I am going to choose C to stand for my color treatments. Now, if you want to use X and Y, you can do that, but I think it's kind of fitting and helps me keep things straight if I use the P and the C. All right, now keep in mind, we're creating a system, so we need two equations. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is this information right here. They sold 25 hair products. So I know that consists of my perms and my color treatments. Okay, so if I sell some amount of perms and some amount of color treatments, together I'm selling 25 products. So does it make sense to you that my first equation out of my system is going to be P plus C equals 25? The number of perms that I sell plus the number of color treatments that I sell equals the 25 total hair products there. That is my equation number one. Okay, now I need a second equation here to complete my system. Okay, that one's going to have to do with the money. Okay, well, how much are perms? $10. So we know for every $10, for every perm we do, that's going to cost $10. Okay, we also know that the color treatments are $20 each. So does it make sense to you that I would want to say 20 for every color treatment C? Now I'm going to take these two bits of information and combine those, and with the fact that I made $350 that month, or however long it was for. Okay, so if I made total $350, I'm going to say $10 for my perms plus $20 for my color treatments equals the $350 that I earned total. So this right here makes my two equations for my system. And I could solve this and figure out exactly how many perms I sold and how many color treatments I did. Okay, next example, you guys. If you need to pause that and rewind it or write that down, go ahead and do that. This next problem says, at the Texas Rangers game, Ben saw that hot dogs were $2 each and soft drinks were $1.50 each. When his dad returned from the concession stand, he had bought 18 items. I don't even know how he could hold that many, but apparently he did, and he paid $31 for that.
I don't want to know how he got 18 items for $31.
I know. It seems a little much. Okay, let's just get started. So we have two things going on here. We have hot dogs for $2 each, and we have soft drinks. You want to kind of go through your problem and figure out what exactly you have. So I'm going to decide on my two variables now. I'm going to call my hot dogs H, and I'm going to call my soft drinks S. Okay, so first thing, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm defining what my variables are. It's important for me as your teacher to know what these letters are, these variables that you are using, what they stand for. Okay, so I'm telling you what my variables are. Now, I need to see what information from the word problem I am going to use. I know my hot dogs are $2 each. Okay, and I know that my soft drinks are $1.50. In total, how much money did I spend? $31. So similar to the last problem, I can say $2 for a hot dog plus $1.50 for my soft drinks equaled the total amount of money that Ben's dad spent.
Miss Sokolowski,
Yes.
do I have to start out with that equation? Because I see a different equation in there. Could I start with that one?
Yes, of course. It doesn't matter which one you start with. If you want to do the money first, okay, I'm doing the money first, but if you look back at our last example, I think I did the money second. So it's just up to you. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now that we have that question addressed, let's look at the next thing. I've got my money. Now, what other information from that system do you think I probably need to include? What do you think, Coach Wallace?
Looking for items.
Items.
It's got 18 items.
Exactly. 18 items. And what did those items consist of?
Soft drinks and hot dogs, because we already defined those as our variables.
Okay, good. So I know that I bought some amount of hot dogs. We're not sure how many though. And I bought some amount of soft drinks. In total, I bought how many items?
18.
18. Perfect. Okay, so this is the number of items that I bought. We've got an equation that talks about the money. We're good to go. All right, next example.
Let's maybe have you guys pause the video here, and let's just start out with pause it and see if you can define your two variables.
Okay, guys, so these are the two variables that I used. Very creative here. I used A for the number of A's that Miss Beasley's students earned, or I guess it was Chris, and B to stand for the B's that Chris earned. You can have different letters, okay, but as long as you have your two letters defined and what they stand for, okay? Now that we've got those two things done, I need to find my two equations to make my system. So you guys pause the video here and see if you can come up with two equations that would go with this situation, then we'll check your answers. Okay, you guys, so these are my two equations right here. This is my system. I said, and keep in mind these could be in any order. You could have your second equation could be my first equation and vice versa. So my first equation, I talked about the fact that he was going to earn $5 for every A that he received. Plus, he earned $3 every B that he made. In total, it said that he had $51. Okay, so that's where I got this 51 from here. That equation dealt with the value of the bucks that Miss Beasley gave. Usually in a system, you're going to have some sort of equation that talks about the value of something in the problem, how much something is worth. Okay, so we got all that information into that first equation. But then I needed a separate equation that dealt with this part, the part that it said that Chris had accumulated 15 grades. So I know that he made some A's and some B's. We're just not sure how many. So I put in this second equation right here, guys, that he had some A's and some B's, and that total, he had 15 grades. Okay, so this was talking about the number of grades that he had. So hopefully you have something like this. If you had something totally different, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, let's do one more example together, guys. Charlie had some nickels and dimes. Okay, that looks pretty important. Nickels and dimes. He counted 12 coins. That also looks like important information. And he had just enough to buy a drink for $1.05. Write a system you could use to find out how many dimes and nickels he had. Okay, so let's figure this out, guys. We know that we need to define our variables first. So See if you can do it. N equals the nickels that I have, and D is going to equal the dimes that I have. Hopefully you guys can figure that one out. Okay? Well, I know that I had some nickels and I had some dimes, and how many total coins did I have? We had 12. So the number of nickels that I had, or Charlie had, plus the number of dimes equals 12.
Now let me ask you guys a question. Is this the equation that is the worth or is it the value? So here it's obviously the number of coins we have, not talking about money. So it's not talking about worth.
Right. Okay, so that means since this one didn't talk about worth, I probably need my second equation to talk about how much things are worth. I mean, I can't just have nickels and dimes in my equation and not tell you how much a nickel's worth or how much a dime's worth. So how much is a nickel worth, you guys?
Yep, 5 cents.
5 cents. Okay, so can I just write 5 cents for every nickel?
Whoa, there's something majorly wrong with that, Miss Sokolowski.
What?
You just wrote $5.
Oh, $5, right. We definitely don't want to do that. So what can I do to make this 5 appear as 5 cents? How do I write 5 cents?
0.05.
0.05 for every nickel. Okay, definitely don't want to make that mistake again. And dimes, I think I could just write 10 for every dime. Oh wait, that would be $10. So I need to put 0.10. Okay, so that's how much these two things are worth. So that's important information. Okay, well, how much money did I have? I had $1.05. So I know that I had 5 cents for every nickel plus 10 cents for every dime equals the total amount of money that I had to buy my drink, which was $1.05. This equation is the how much things are worth. This equation talks about the total number of coins that I had in my pocket or whatever. So this right here gives us a system that we can solve. We'll learn in the next couple of days how to solve something like this. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with this challenge to try and do this one tonight on your own. It's nothing different than what we've already done. Set up your two variables and then give it a try to set up your your one system of two equations. I bet you can do it. We will talk about this tomorrow in class and do lots more examples. Have a great evening. See you guys tomorrow.
Good night.